Just a few minutes. Many high school students across the nation are now required to take college entrance exams, including the ACT. Many experts say it is always a good idea for students to get signed up as soon as possible, so now is the best time. Pam Mashburn is here from Potential Magazine. This is a magazine just for high school students and their parents. So many good things in here. So much good stuff.
Thank you. It's good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But this is very important, ACT. Why is it so important that students take the ACT?
Well, you know, it is used for a lot of different things, but mainly admissions and for scholarship. And I wanted to bring it on the show today because we're about to go back to school. The testing happens kind of during the school year, and I've had a lot of parents asking me about it. So I thought, you know, it's the deadline for this first test that's in September. The deadline is August 10th. So we're going to be doing all this back to school stuff, and we're going to forget about that deadline. So you don't want to miss it, and especially if you have a senior, there's only like 3 that you can take before like the deadline for a lot of the big colleges comes up. So
and things have changed too. We should talk to our parents, grandparents, guardians out there, because it seems like I only remember being able to take the test once or maybe twice, but you can take it more than that now.
Right, you can take it up to 12 times, and it's so important.
Was it always like that and I just didn't know?
I think it's just because college was cheaper and it wasn't as big a deal. Now
it wasn't
it's
as
so
competitive.
Expensive. Yeah, it's very competitive.
Yeah.
It's so expensive, and so much of that of your scholarship money is determined by your ACT score. So yeah, it is competitive. And this is the first year, I just heard this, that Auburn University had a waiting list for admissions.
Really?
Yeah, first time in 10 years.
But that means a lot more kids are trying to go to college,
which is a great thing. I know.
And then trying to go to colleges in our state, which is another great thing.
I know,
so,
it is a great thing.
But it is a dilemma. It is a dilemma. Yeah.
So anyway, so I know most people realize how important it is, but when you get into the actual doing it, signing up for it, I wanted to kind of just give you some tips.
Okay.
Because it's a little daunting process. I mean, they'll even tell you it takes 40 minutes to sign up, and it is like a little overwhelming.
It is a lot to it, but it's very important that you do it, and no matter how long it takes you, you need to get it done.
So yeah, so here's some tips, because I had somebody that was doing it and they were like texting me, should I sign up for this? Should I sign up for that? So I thought that this would be a good time to talk about it. One of the things that's changed this year is on the ACT portion, there used to be an essay that you would write, and so there's a written portion. It actually costs extra money to take it, and this is the first year that most every college is not requiring it for admissions or scholarship. So Auburn, Alabama, Alabama State, Troy is not requiring it. So I'm not saying that it's everyone, but I'm saying a lot of the big ones are not. So what I'm telling people is if your kids are in the public school system, their junior year, they all take it with the written portion. Just take it then.
And it's free.
And it's free then. Yeah, so save yourself some money and your kids some time, because they're going to be tired by the time that writing portion comes around on a Saturday.
Okay, so some questions you have to answer, others you don't. Is that something on there, or do you have to answer all of the questions that are required? It says intrusive questions. What does that mean?
So when you go in to sign up, they're sneaky. They ask you all these questions like, did you take drama? Did you take theater? Did you take debate? Did you take all these things? And what grade did you make in it? Okay, I tried to opt out of all that craziness, because what they're doing is they're trying to sell this information to schools. Now, if that's important that a school knows about all your things with your kids, but I was like, this is ridiculous. So I just said my kid got an A in all those things. Because it was like 3 or 4 screens worth. So that doesn't have any bearing on the ACT. So if you're in a hurry, just put they got an A in all that.
Because that's what you wish.
Yeah, because they just don't have access to your transcript, and it's unimportant. So don't worry about that.
Okay, don't worry about all that.
Yes, and then the other thing to think about is for 3 of the tests, there's going to be 7 tests this year, and for 3 of the tests, you can actually request the test information release, which is what they do is they send you the test booklet and your kids' answers, which is nice, because I was like, gosh, I thought he knew more than this. When I was looking, I was like, I thought he knew that. He didn't know that. So anyway, so that was kind of, and it was eye-opening for them too, because they're like, I thought I did better than that. What did I miss? Well, then they can see what they missed.
Okay, tell us about these waivers. I want to hear about that.
Okay, so there are fee waivers for if you have free or reduced lunches, and you're in 11th or 12th grade, If you go to your guidance counselor, they can give you a fee waiver to take it twice for free. In addition to the one that you would take as a junior. So you don't want to miss out on that. So definitely talk to your high school guidance counselor. They have the form for you to fill out.
So should you pick like Auburn or Troy, like your favorite school, Alabama? Should you just do that and just send your test scores there?
Right. So when you sign up, it'll ask you it will ask you for all the schools that you're interested in going to. The first 4 are free.
Okay.
And you can request up to 6. So what I tell people is my kid didn't know where he wanted to go to school.
Right.
But let's just pick the top 4. And then, because if you have to do it later, it costs you like $16 per school. So that'll save you money to go ahead and just do it.
Yeah. So go ahead and narrow that list down.
Yeah, and you'll get the scores. You'll get an email that tells you that you can look at your scores. The funny thing is, the 4 schools that we had, they had the scores before we did. I got an email that said, hey, we received your scores. And I go, oh, I didn't even know the scores were out there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of our indication.
So that makes one of us.
Yeah, so that's right. But the other thing, too, is you can only register for the next 2 tests. But let's say your kid wants to take the December or the February, and we're busy. I forget. I've paid a lot of late fees for my kids on these test things, as I forget. I'm in this business.
Have, yeah.
So when you go in there, you can say, I want you to send me reminders on my text or my email. So that's a nice little feature they've added.
Yeah, and you are busy. A lot of folks out there watching are very busy, and it's going to get busier once the school year starts. So that's a great tool to have. Another great tool, Potential Magazine. This is a part of this issue.
Yes, it is.
All about the ACT and lots of other good stuff in here. Again, it's where teens and their parents hang out. And if you can't get this hard copy, which by this time of the month,
there's not many left.
Yes, but you can get it online, right?
Right, potentialmagazine.com. New issues are coming out in 2 weeks, but they're online. We've got tons of information about ACT and some tips for taking it as well.
It could get you some money for school. Thank you so much for being here.
Tanya.
Good to see you. Good information.